Would you like to hear another story about when believing all women goes wrong? I know you do. Come on. This story right here is quite ridiculous if you ask me. Now you see the title here before I read it off. Pause.
Pause.
This woman called the police on this man. Now they had been dating 20 years ago, a long time ago. For some reason, this woman, like other women out there and people in general, but we're talking about women, decided to call the police on this man and give a false report. But the report, the call, the allegation is so ridiculous that the police, upon finding this man, this individual, should have immediately knew that this was some type of hoax, some type of get back from this woman. But instead, they actually went with it. And this man, I believe, is going to sue the police department for even going through this whole mess. All right, which rightfully so. Anyway, I got a video I want to play about this to get the full, scope of this mess. But we're going to read a few snippets from this article here from the Daily Caller. Police arrest paralyzed man for allegedly kicking down door. Quote, "I'm in a wheelchair and have been for 25 years.
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way."
This woman called the police on this man, on a man that is paralyzed from the waist down, and said that not only did he kick her door in, but did other nefarious things to her, as we will read in this article real quick. A paralyzed man from Georgia was arrested after an ex-girlfriend accused him of a violent home invasion, he told Atlanta News First. Charles Reed was arrested by police in College Park, Georgia, after Catherine Jensen told police in June of 2024 that Reed invaded her residence and put his hands around her neck, then ran away,
Ain't no way.
according to a complaint obtained by the outlet. Reed told A&F that he and Jensen dated at one point but hadn't been in contact for 20 years. The man has since denied the allegation, saying he wouldn't be physically able to do what Jensen claimed happened. Now you might be asking, what all did she claim happened to her? Well, this is where we're going to get into the article. We're going to get into the video. Hold tight. Okay, this video is from Atlanta News First and is going to detail all the things that she said about this man, that she alleged of this man, and the way this man was treated once he was confronted by law enforcement, right? So this is a YouTube video from Atlanta News First. I will leave a link to the article and this video in the description box. So if all of you stop playing the video ninjas, for all of you talk too much, stop pausing the video ninjas.
Fuck up. Shut the fuck.
A link will be in the description box. You can watch this without my commentary or interruption. If you're still here, thank you very much for your viewership and fair use.
News now at 7. A Metro Atlanta Police Department now under fire for how it investigated an alleged attack and home invasion.
So what happened?
He kicked in the door.
Okay.
Enemy spotted.
Do you see this wretched woman?
I am a nasty woman.
And she has to be, I don't know, 40s, maybe 50s. Look at her. Got a tank top on. Of course, she got some jewelry on or whatnot. But look at her. What would make her want to call the police on this man after dating for 20 years? Now, I don't know if they were actually, he said he hasn't contacted her since then. So I don't know. Maybe he might be not telling the truth about that. I'm not being totally honest about that. But what would make her want to call the police on this man after 20 years and say this stuff knowing he was unable to do it? I don't know. If you've made it this far in the video and you're still here, thank you again for your viewership. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, that way you can be notified whenever I go live or drop new content. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, please do so by hitting the Cash App $ Mr. Normie. And you can also go to my Ko-Fi page, ko-fi.com/workingmanmg. Also, I'm trying to build a community on Locals. So if you would, go please check out my Locals page and you can join for just $5 a month. You can post and we can build a community of like-minded working men over there. Thank you for your time. Now back to the video.
I ran. He choked me out.
An Atlanta News First investigation uncovered evidence that woman may have fabricated her story. Investigative
May have fabricated the story? Ha! I think it's more than may have.
Andy Parati found it led to the arrest of a man who says he is innocent.
536, just confirming you're advising to go 20 front door.
College Park police respond to a home in June 2024.
Oh, thank God.
All right, how you doing?
After Catherine Jensen says her ex-boyfriend attacked her minutes before they arrived.
So what happened?
Minutes before they arrived.
Enemy spotted.
So how was he going to go in here, kick her door in, physically assault her, and then run off in a wheelchair? And I wonder if she even, since they have allegedly haven't spoken 20 years, I wonder if she even knew that he was in a wheelchair, because he said he's been there for over 25 years. So they had to been dating, have dated while he was in this condition, I would assume, right? So, I mean, I just want to know the motive here. I don't know if they actually say this in this video, but I want to know what her motive was for doing this to this man.
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out. Tried to get the keys from my hand of my truck.
So he grabbed you by your neck?
Mm-hmm. Handle him myself. I'm too small.
You said
Too small.
He did.
See that woman card? I couldn't handle him myself. I'm too small. He's literally way to your waistline because he's in a wheelchair. He tried to get your keys. Do you have any markings around your neck at all? Like, come on.
Charles Reed is the man Catherine claimed broke into her home and assaulted her.
She said I kicked in the door.
And why is that a problem?
Because I'm in a wheelchair and have been for 25 years.
Oh, come there.
Charles cannot move his legs. He's paraplegic following an accident when he was a teenager. Andrew Fleischman is Charles' attorney.
Fleischman. And by the way, I believe he's married with children. I don't know if that's his wife, but he's obviously moved on, right?
That he's of average build.
Tall, short.
Average height.
That he has brown hair. That he's in black clothing.
So all black?
I want to say yes, sir.
But not that he's in a wheelchair. Never mentions it. And that is probably the number one thing you'd mention about somebody.
Especially as they're running away.
On foot.
I guess he took off on foot.
Charles and Catherine did date, but it was more than 20 years ago. They never kept in touch. He's been married for a decade with a newborn. And the day of the alleged attack,
Bitch, ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
Married with a newborn. Again, he could be not telling the truth or not being fully honest about his communication with this woman. And if so, that would definitely be a problem. However, the allegation that she's putting against this man in his current condition, there's no way he could have did even half of the stuff that she's talking about. Could he have maybe harassed her? Possibly. But to physically overpower her in his condition would be very, on her part, to let that happen would be purposeful, I believe.
says he was at a dinner party with friends.
The police
And his
contact you at
alibi.
all?
No, not at all. Not a single time.
You didn't get a phone call?
Not a phone call.
You didn't get an email?
Not an email. Not a visit.
No one questioned you about this?
Nope.
For 9 months, Charles says he had no clue officers had a warrant out for his arrest for aggravated assault until the federal government alerted him when he tried to renew his passport. So he emailed Officer McKinley Boletti and set up a time to meet at the police department last month.
Then I finally go up there literally knowing absolutely nothing about it. I essentially surrendered myself because I was that innocent.
According to the body camera video, Officer Boletti questioned whether he was actually disabled.
Unfortunately, you do have the warrant out for your arrest, so I'm going to have to place you into custody.
Is this a joke?
Charles warned the officer putting handcuffs on would likely make him fall because of his paralysis.
I'm sitting there literally exactly like this in my chair. And so he handcuffs me and I'm like, hey, Like, just FYI, like, I can't move. I literally can't. I don't have muscle control.
It's too late.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I could have broken my hip and died, like, very quickly.
How did they respond?
They literally sat there and just watched me writhe on the ground.
The officers.
So this man went to the police station to turn himself in, and he's greeted by African-American police officers.
Ninjas.
And after he's greeted by these officers, they place him in handcuffs. Now he's giving himself to law enforcement, and they don't even try to investigate to see if he's actually paralyzed. They just, handcuff him, allow him to fall to the ground. Then they act like he's faking it without actually, bringing the medic in, asking him, does he have medical records to substantiate this or anything like that, which this could be considered malpractice. He can sue these people for this because they pretty much just act like he was faking it without trying to, further investigate his condition, right? They just assume he was faking it. So and I know this can happen. He can walk, somebody could go in there with a wheelchair and act like they're faking it, but they didn't do their due diligence, which is a problem.
Still didn't believe Charles was disabled. Neither did his supervisor, who never put his eyes on Charles before saying this.
It's a ruse, man. So, I mean, it's an obvious attempt to not to go to jail. So.
Body cam, gonna get him.
The fellow officer disagreed.
Might need to call the district attorney's office, because if the door was kicked in, he didn't kick it in.
Finally, Officer
Ninjas.
Eddie admits he could be wrong.
Because now it's looking like she might have made a false report.
He started to hurt me about March of this year. And
A year before Catherine claimed Charles assaulted her, the Noonan Police Department, about 30 miles away.
By the way, the fact that they had a warrant out for his arrest for almost a whole year for assault. I mean, hell, I've got my door knocked on Paul. I've had people come to my door for not paying a traffic ticket. The warrant roundups they have in like Texas and Georgia, places like that. And you mean tell me this guy had an assault warrant for a whole year and nobody came to pick him up until he went to renew his driver's license. And even then, nobody picked him up when he go to renew his driver's license. He actually had time to go make an appointment to turn himself in. And at that point, then they want to go through all the bull crap. So this guy still had time and chances. This could have been actually rectified months ago. 9 months before this happened, they said the warrant was out for almost a whole year. This guy was able to walk around free, having a warrant for assault on a white, I hate to say it, but on a white woman.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Amazing.
Arrested her for theft and forgery.
She looked like she lying too.
After allegedly filing a false police report.
And she had charges for theft and forgery before this even happened. So her personal record is already shady. And nobody looked into that either?
Claiming someone stole from her. Fleischman says officers have access to a state database identifying prior arrests, but Officer Belletti never mentions Catherine's arrest record in the incident report.
I've never seen a case where somebody was so clearly innocent and it would take so little work to establish it, and nobody was willing to do the work.
it was a tumultuous relationship.
According to this email obtained by Charles' attorney, Catherine wrote to a College Park police detective this week asking to change her statement, writing, "My mental state and physical trauma in that moment worked to confuse me. Please contact me at your convenience so I can edit the information in the report and clear the name of an innocent man."
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
Okay, so now that this has gone viral, now that this has made front page news and has gone viral on social media, on YouTube, and now she sends an email to the police department saying that she was experiencing some type of mental stress and that she wants to change her statement to make this man innocent after he's been humiliated, after he's been physically hurt, after his name has been probably dragged through the mud and through all these legal processes that he didn't even know about for a whole year. And now you want to change your statement because now you look a fool. Now you look like some kind of bitter, crazy woman for filing charges against this man for filing a false report on a man that was disabled, that wasn't even able to do what you alleged he did. Now that you look bad, now you want to change your statement to clear his name. Okay, so here's my question. If he didn't do it, then who did it? And if nobody did, then why did you accuse this man of this in the first place? But we probably won't get those answers. And if we do, I'm definitely going to report it.
Impacted you?
Well, I haven't been able to leave my house in a meaningful way in 2 or 3 months, just out of fear that I'll be picked up for an arrest warrant.
Has the police department apologized?
Not a single bit. Haven't heard a word from them. In fact, we've been trying to get into communication with them repeatedly, both me and my lawyer.
Because ultimately, that's all we're asking for, just to be adults. Take responsibility when you make a mistake and try to fix it.
College Park police did not respond to repeated requests for comment about this case. We reached out to Catherine Jensen. She also did not respond, but her mother says she now acknowledges Charles did not attack her. Catherine has not been charged in this case.
Of course she hasn't. Of course she hasn't.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Not charged for filing a false report, anything. Just to acknowledge that she made it, just so law enforcement can acknowledge that she broke the law by filing a false report and having this man, his name dragged to the butt. Now he's scared to get arrested. He has a family to take care of and look after. Even in his state, he still is a man. The police department hasn't apologized. She gave a half-hearted apology, right? And now this man's left with fear in his heart for law enforcement, because not only did they treat him bad, but they didn't even do their due diligence to make sure that he was actually a guilty man, which he was not. But you know what? It's College Park.
Ninjas. As if we didn't have enough problems in this city.
So I'm not surprised. All right, y'all see it. When believing all women goes wrong. And with that being said, thank you for taking another episode of the Working Man Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. Let me know what you think about this man being wrongfully accused, falsely accused, and the lack of remorse on the woman that accused him and the police department, right? To apologize at the very least, or to even charge her with some type of, something, misdemeanor, something for her part and for her main part in this story. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door, and I will see you on the next video.